of all, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the graduates. I don't care if you graduated middle school, if you graduated kindergarten, if you graduated high school, college, graduate, doctorate. Shout out. I can't tell you the amount of love I've seen on IG, on Facebook, on Twitter, the lawyers that are coming out, the new doctors that just finished. I'm so excited for all of our new graduates. Shout out to Morgan Jale, my cousin who was Simmons College student of excellence. She was the last on the list to be called because she was the student of excellence. And that was a complete and total surprise to all of us. Nana was up here. Auntie Shelly, Auntie Shauna came up. Puka Bear came up. I can't tell you how much love. There was just love all weekend long, and you could feel it in the air, you could feel it in the atmosphere, and I wish that it would continue for the rest of the summer. I know we had some shootings that took place, one in Grove Hall, one in Dorchester. Like, I understand we have this culture of not snitching, but we also need to have a culture of taking back our streets. We need to have a culture of this is my home, I'm not playing any games. We also need to have a culture. I want to go back to last Tuesday of first-time home buyers. There's opportunities out here. They don't care about your credit. They care about your ability to pay your mortgage. And in all honesty, a mortgage is cheaper than your rent, baby. When you looking at a 2-bedroom, shout out to the BRA, Black Removal Association, $2,200 for a 1-bedroom apartment. $3,400 for a 3-bedroom apartment. This is not affordable housing. This is gentrification. Shout out to all of the graduates. Shout out to all of you. Today we have an amazing guest at 6 a.m. We have a representative from the community of the indigenous people. They went to the United Nations, had a 10-day long conference to sit down and say, listen, we're indigenous peoples. We deserve our rights as such. So that will be taking place at 6 a.m. I'm really excited for that. I'm just trying to update you guys on everything before we get into this news. Oh, Tayla Andre, Wake Up with Tayla Andre also is now on BNN. Just recorded, just became a producer with BNN. I'm really excited for that as well. I love all the love. I appreciate everybody. David Banner is coming July 23rd. We have ZC Boston as one of our sponsors. I'm really excited for that. 801 Mass Ave, free parking up to 2 hours. Great lychee martinis, amazing food, fresh sushi. If you're not into that, of course, they have all your poo-poo platters and everything else. We have this Saturday, do not forget at the Strand Theater, Boss Lady News and Wake Up with Tayla Andre present a $10 dinner and a movie. You're paying $10 for Zaz's food. If you know anything about Zaz, you know the food is absolutely amazing. The movie is free. What you're paying for is the food. And yes, you got to pay for the food in order to watch the movie. But shout out to Zaz. Shout out to Boss Lady News. And you remember the Mel track? Maltrack, the cartoon teaching children about African diaspora history. So Maltrack Ed Anime is going to be our first film from 12 to 1 p.m. Surprise, surprise, a romantic comedy will be at 2 p.m. The Hills, which is an adult action movie, is at 5 p.m. And Honky Holocaust is an adult horror at 8 p.m. featuring your own Tayla Andre, as well as Val Beats, Anari, and Asaria. So again, and Alex E. Edwards actually is in that movie as well. So much to update you guys on. Do not forget that today is Out of Darkness. Boston premieres, not only just Boston, but Texas, Atlanta, LA. We are having a premiere on Monday, today, 6 p.m. sharp. 6 p.m. at RCC sharp. The food is absolutely amazing. Make sure you get a plate of food that ranges anywhere from $2 to $15, and the community is just doing big things. There's screenings of movies that we really need to start investing in. We need to invest our time into and just support one another and support what's going on. And there's a whole movement right now, not only across our city here in Boston, but across the United States when it comes to race and equality and making sure that everybody has their fair shape in life. And to do so, what we're doing is altering mentalities. I love it. I love everything that's going on right now. So let's really quickly jump into some of this news. Germany's Bayer. You know, Bayer, some of you may buy the pills. They are a German pharmaceutical company, and they are offering $62 billion for the U.S. agriculture group Monsanto. Now, if you know anything about Tayla Andre, you know that this is huge to me. Why? Because Bayer said it made an all-cash offer. How you have $62 billion in all-cash offer? That's $122 per share, or a total of 62 billion. 5 billion euros. The planned combination with Monsanto is such an extraordinary opportunity to create a global leader in agricultural industry. Monsanto is the perfect match for our agricultural business. This is what Bayer is saying. Bayer could go suck an eggplant, because I cannot believe that Bayer thinks for 5 seconds that their perfect match is Monsanto. Why? If you know anything about Monsanto, you know for a fact that they are the company that created Agent Orange. What is Agent Orange? It has the same side effects as the Zika virus. We went ahead, we dropped all this spray in Vietnam. We are still paying for, literally, we are paying people in Vietnam, citizens in Vietnam. We are also paying those that were flying the planes that sprayed Monsanto. We're paying their family. The United States government has acknowledged the fact, like, we were wrong. This stuff is poisonous. We're sorry for the damage that we've caused, that not only is in your DNA, but has been passed down generation to generation. You don't believe me? Go read. This is what's going on. And Bayer wants to buy them because it's the perfect match to our agricultural business. Y'all keep sleeping if you want to. Y'all keep sleeping if you want to. Sheeple is real. Wake the hell up. Portland School Board votes to ban books that question or deny climate change from the classrooms. City officials voted to pass the measure during a meeting last week. This means the school will have to get rid of any books that question if climate change is occurring or says humans is not to blame for it. The resolution also directs school staff to implement a curriculum that will address climate change and climate justice. We can sit here and address climate change and climate justice, and don't think for 5 seconds that I don't believe in climate global warming. I don't believe that we need to take better care of the earth, because we are stewards of the earth. This is the only planet that we know that we can live on, and we're not taking good care of her. So don't think for 5 seconds that I am against global warming. What I'm against is the fact that we just learned about global warming. True or false? In a greater scheme of things, for the citizens of the United States, the global citizenship, we just learned about global warming. How long have we known about slavery? How long have we known about the messed up things that have happened to Black and brown and indigenous people? But yet we don't sit here make it mandatory, or have a school board voting to ban books that discuss the fact that slavery wasn't real. They were indigent servants. Texas books, which fund over 68% of the rest of the school books across the United States of America, stated that slaves were interns learning a trade. We don't have bans against that, but we're going to go ahead and ban the fact that if you question global warming, that book can no longer be in schools. I say that to say, don't for 5 seconds think that your voice doesn't need to be carried, that your voice doesn't need to be heard. If you have a complaint, if there's something wrong in your community, in your school, at your job, you were giving a voice for a reason. Not to itch and complain to friends and family, but to actually take your complaints to the person who can, or people, or establishments, or systems that can alter from the state in which it currently is. You have a voice, baby. Use it. Ancient Egyptian spell book is revealed. So they say a papyrus contains curses that claim to burn the heart of a woman and make men do exactly what you want. Recently translated are the thousands of Oxyrhynchus Egyptian texts that contain magical formulas for love spells and give power over men. They also contain medical recipes for boils, leprosy, and other ailments. And Salem wanted to burn all the witches. Maybe they were onto something. Maybe they knew a little something. And the funny thing about this is there's another article that I pulled up that I wanted to read to you, because they're stating that possibly scientists are currently looking at whether or not talking to your body can heal some of your ailments. Talking to your body can heal some of your ailments. It's okay, Nick. You don't hurt. Oh, I'm healed already. What is that called? Biblically, what is that called? Speaking it into existence, right? Science is saying, and I've said this my whole entire life, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. And I've always believed that science and religion have this, oil and water relationship. And we don't understand how detrimental they are to one another. It's like, oh, that's religion and that's science, and they don't need to mix. But I think we could have an amazing Italian dressing if we just mix the two. Oil, vinegar, oil, water. What, you understand what I mean? If we could just sit for 5 seconds and say, this makes sense. Talking to your body, healing thyself, using your words. Because that's really what it is. You're not actually, you are talking to your body, but what you're doing is you're speaking life into yourself. Let there be light. He didn't do anything but speak it, or she or them. In the beginning, we made them. It said them in the Bible. I really wish we would take more ownership of our words. I wish we would take more ownership of how powerful we are as human beings. I wish we would take more ownership over the things we say, the things we think, and the things we do must align for everything to work out in its perfect form. I'm feeling some type of way, y'all. Like, I'm all the way. My eyes have opened up as far as Kozback is concerned, being able to see the bigger picture and what people are able to accomplish, to know that 10 years ago, social emotional learning wasn't even a thing. And now today we're trying to figure out, how do we connect with these babies that we're not connected to? And what did I learn from this conference is that social emotional learning that everybody is trying to figure out that's the missing component. The truth of the matter is you have to give a damn about these kids. That's it. That's the magic formula. That's the witchcraft behind it. That's where good teaching comes from. That's where a student feels like their potential can be utilized at its highest power. When you have a teacher at the front of the classroom that can relate to your student, that may even look like the student, who can encourage and love that child. I feel bad. So many people spend so much money going all the way to New York. That nonsense is expensive. Attended the conference. Conference cost $250. To learn what? The one thing that we already knew but needed science to back up. These babies need love in the front of the classroom, and not somebody who's going to punish them for things that are not punishment. You're a child. If your child attends a school and you don't like the way that, use your voice, baby. Use your voice. There's a student, who is 15 years old, who's caught on Snapchat having sex with 25 boys. And the reason why I laugh is because I just posted the video on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook that has, when the news goes out and they're reporting the story and they go out and to different schools, and like high school student, 15 years old, caught on Snapchat having sex with 25 boys in the campus restroom. The girl allegedly told the principal that she had sex with a number of boys. The 25 boys went in and out of the bathroom at the South Fort Myers High School. Fellow pupils claim the student locked themselves in the bathroom. A cell phone has been confiscated amid reports of recording the acts, and students at the Florida school say the footage was circulated on Snapchat. And then they go to the adults, and the adults are like, yo, that whole family is filled with nonsense. Like, the mama was out there doing such and such, the grandma was out there doing such and such. And if you watch the video that I posted on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it goes all the way to the end, and there's a lady talking about, so the reason why Rosa Parks sat on the front of the bus is because her great grandma was in the back of the bus sucking off an eggplant. Yo, the stuff is absolutely hilarious. But these are grown adults, like, yeah, we know the family such and such and such and such, and they've been doing this for years. Where do you think she learned it from? And I'm just blown because the seriousness of this story, a 15-year-old girl having sex with 25 men, when most women at the age of 45 haven't even slept with 25 men. And she's 15 and one shot, 25 of them. And for adults to not be, have a feeling about it, like, nah, that's just the way the cookie crumbles in their family. It's funny, but it's not, because this is what society is right now. That we're able to accept a 15-year-old locking herself in the bathroom with 25 boys in rotation. This is real life, baby. The third victim confirmed in Tennessee of a Zika virus. As the number of cases reaches 60 in the United States, Tennessee confirmed the third travel-related case on Thursday. This comes with fears victims could pass the virus on to local mosquitoes. There are now 60 cases in the United States, all travel-related. Health officials warn that the summer may heighten the risks of it spreading. They also came out with reports in Cape Verde that there is one confirmed case in Cape Verde of the Zika virus. And I love my people to death, but we some freaky sexual people. And I can only imagine how quickly that nonsense is going to spread. So my prayers, my peace, my blessings. I'm hoping for more of my people, but I you gotta be honest with the situation. In other news, there is a young man, and I think it's horrible that he was unable to walk across the stage. But the valedictorian was barred from participating in graduation because his beard did not comply with school's no facial hair policy. Andrew Jones, 18, was unable to participate in graduation due to his beard. First of all, he's a grown man. He's 18 years old. No facial hair policy. Not everybody has a baby face, baby. And for those who don't know, your hair is your strength. And if he has facial hair, what he should have done, he should have pulled that religion card real quick. Like, nah, this is part of my religion. I don't have to shave my facial hair. He could have said anything. Broke the no facial hair policy at the Amite High School in Louisiana. Superintendent Jones and said that the family was reminded of the rules 3 times. He had 3 opportunities. They told him the day before graduation, the day before walking across the stage, that, listen, go home and shave or you're not going to walk. And he was the valedictorian, and they really didn't care. He didn't get to walk. He didn't get to speak. And he's now suing the school. What do you think? You think he should have went ahead and just shaved it, or you think that is a policy that's ridiculous? I personally think it's ridiculous. They should have just let him walk. Who and what would it have hurt for him to have facial hair? He's not going to be back ever again. It's too late to hide from the aliens. This is a real report. This is why I love international news, because international news will tell you real quick that ET has landed, and the United States would be like, no, not at all. That was just, a movie. You guys were watching a movie. That's not real. But experts say that we need to think more carefully about the messages that we send to extraterrestrials or what may be out there. And if you don't remember, there actually is a point of contact on the United Nations level that there's somebody with a title that gets paid to be there. My apologies. There is somebody who is at the United Nations who who has a job that when ET lands, that's their point of communication. I think it's hilarious, but at the same time, it just goes to show how, as far as a global community is concerned, there's acceptance that we are not the only ones here and that we need somebody to communicate with them. This story is saying that, we can't hide from them and we need to rethink what we're sending as far as messages are concerned, and our radio transmission, and whether or not what we're saying may be hostile, what we're saying may, incite violence. We have to be mindful before they come and get us over something miscommunication. We got a call on the line, 617-282-0062. Wake up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Good rising, baby, you're live.
Good morning, Tayla. That young man was on the news Sunday, and we showed this report card, straight A's for 4 years.
He was a valedictorian, absolutely, but he still did not adhere to a policy that says no facial hair while walking across the stage.
But I think a lot of those hair policies, look who it generally targets: African-American women, African-American males, because of certain styles, like the Afro. But I can guarantee you this: if he were to say something about those side curls with the Orthodox Jews wear, it wouldn't even get past a vote. But I think that just goes to show us that golden rule: whoever controls the gold makes the rules. So instead of us teaching our children go out to make gold for other Europeans, they need to be taught how to create wealth for yourself. They need to create policies. Or that, and go into elections and make sure you vote for the right politicians who, when you see stupid crap like that, you knock it down. People want to create wealth or vote for people who are going to protect you. Those are your only two options.
Okay. Well, thank you. I did miss you, Brother Nubian, and I think that you would have thoroughly enjoyed the conference, the Coalition of Schools Educating Boys of Color. There was a lot that was said that echoes your voice. And so I was...
Monday's the thing going on tonight. I read to those producers, or two of them, that told me about it at an event last night. So I definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, I'll be there, so I'll get to see you in person.
I don't know. I think I should stay incognito because nothing else, Taylor. I like you, but the fact that you can be cool with just that Republican, sometimes I wonder, like, I'm not trying to be rude, but sometimes until I fill someone out completely, I try to stay incognito because the last thing I want to do is just the Republicans know who I am. Because I believe those are the people that when you do talk too loud, they make you disappear. I don't trust any Republican.
Lord have mercy. If I see you, I see you. If I don't, I don't. Peace and blessings to you either way.
All right, take it easy, peace.
All right. Lord have mercy. But as far as aliens are concerned, in other news, I really wish you had. I definitely do not snitch. So I'd like a hug, Mr. Nubian. I would like a hug. And whatever happens between you and Republicans happens between you and Republicans. And as far as Jeff, the Republican, is concerned, you're absolutely right. I do have an ability to call him in. As far as friendship is concerned, I don't think we're on that level, but I do and will continue to have meaningful conversations with people on the other side of the aisle or people that don't necessarily agree with my standpoint. And I think that's detrimental for all of us to have those conversations that do not agree with us. We can't just have a circle of people that just agree with us in order to expand ourselves and expand our minds. And there has to be some level of acceptance. But your name is Mr. Nubian for a reason. Where you want to go, I completely understand. I think this story is a little off. It's kind of weird to me. But South Korea and I don't think it's just going to be South Korea. I think this is going to come to the United States very soon. But South Korea currently has the ability where dog owners can have their dead pets or their dead dogs cloned and replicated into new pets. I think that it's crazy, but I can see a lot of South End people getting their dogs cloned. I'm sorry. It's called Som Biotech Research Foundation. Offers commercial dog cloning. They claim they can replicate any dog regardless of age, size, or breed. A new show has been given unlimited access to the lab, and they will show exactly how they can clone a dog even after it is dead. A lot of mercy. This is what's important in life. Baby, it is what it is. We currently have 2 callers on the line. 617-282-0062. Waking up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. 617-282-0062. Garage and calling you live.
Hey guys, and Joe.
Hello, Takwa.
How are you?
I'm super fantastic. How are you?
Oh, awesome and amazing. And listen, you can do that with dogs. What's to stop them from doing it with other mammals?
Hold on, pause, Takwa. Have we not discussed the fact that genetically modified salmon is cloned? Have we not discussed this? Like, they want you to eat cloned food. They want you to eat cloned salmon. This is like passing all types of FDA laws.
Yes, but I'm not talking about food. When I say other mammals, I'm talking about humans.
I know.
What's to stop them from doing it with humans? If they can do it with dogs, if they can do it with other mammals, trust and believe. They in the lab somewhere doing it with humans. And this whole alien liaison thing, the border contact person. I mean, when you watch movies like MIB, they make light of it to make it seem ridiculous, but the MIB is that point of contact person. They probably, that conversation's going on. They probably got them people running around down here doing their thing. And if you ever see one, they'll flash you thing you and make you forget.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Nari made a comment one day about whether or not he can get in contact with one of those flashy things so that when he's in trouble, he can make me forget. So it's hilarious, but you don't understand how many times have we had when we ever do like supernatural things or we do out of world things. Every person we've ever had in the studio or called in regarding extraterrestrials, like they're already here. We already know about them. It's just it won't be exposed. Let me tell you, I have a nephew. Thank you, Taco. I love and appreciate you. I have a nephew, Devon. Not Devin, Devon. He looks like a Devin, but his name's Devon. Devon told me, he said, Tia, did you know that the aliens, what did he say? Area 51, everybody knows about that. So they had to create a secret area. So now there's Area 52. I'm like, hold on, Devon, how do you know this? He was like, because I read. I was reading and I read about it. And back in he's throwing facts at me. Again, Devon, how old is Devon? He's not 6. Him and Asari are the same age. He's 10. 10 years old. Telling me about things that I thought I knew about. I was like, hold on, but I thought Area 51. He was like, yeah, but Area 51 is too well known. They have an underground bunker. It's now Area 52, and nobody knows where the location is. Tia, you need to do more reading. I felt bad. The 10-year-old told me I needed to do more reading, and he's absolutely right. Out of the mouths of babes, y'all. 617-282-0062. Garage and call you live.
Taylor, how's it going?
I'm super fantastic. How are you?
Good. Hey, I was calling for the same thing type where I just called, saying that whole clone thing, it's already going on. Because I called like a few months back, got another story about it. They're already doing it off this island, this secret island in China. In real life, scientists from the United States and other countries go over there because there's no law over there that prevents that. The reason why this whole clone thing is not coming up like these governments, they have no law on it. They don't know how to basically treat a clone. Do you give a clone rights? What's the ethics involved in? That's That's why the whole cloning thing with humans hasn't really gone legal yet, because they can't figure out how to place a clone. What's the clone? The clone has the same right as you. So basically, now do you have a right to yourself? So you can create a whole race of slaves. They could genetically modify things and take things out and put things in. This is where the problem is. Not because they cannot do it, is the governments don't know how to control it. And the governments want to control it. But when they figure out how to do it, we won't even know it's happening. It will be happening right on our nose, and we won't have any idea. Just like the whole alien things that you're talking about. It's happening right under our nose, but we don't know it. What do you think they do in space? Like when they go to space, why is more space explored than our oceans? Why do we not want to find out what's in the bottom of our oceans, but we'll go into space to see what's there and avoid that there's absolutely nothing and everything is so far away? Why do you think? Why would you waste billions of dollars to find nothing? Nobody would waste billions and billions and billions of dollars to find nothing. How many countries do that? Japan does it, China does it, Russia does it, United States does it, India does it now, France does it, England does it. Why? You're spending billions of dollars for what? There's a reason why they're spending billions of dollars. We just don't know what that reason is. Okay. Good work, Tayla. Check you later, Pete.
Thank you. I can't tell you how much I love and appreciate every single last one of you that's able to call in and give more information, to elaborate on things that we discuss, and to fill us in on things that I didn't know about, or I did know about and just didn't talk about. Thank you. Portugal has powered itself for 4 straight days with 100% renewable energy. Tell me why we don't think that we can do this. Let me tell you how conditioned I am. So, my exploratory mind is like, oh my God, I just found this awesome thing, $20 on Groupon. It is a solar powered battery charger. So if you're out in the wilderness and you have no plugs, you have the sunlight, it powers this little device, and then you can charge your cell phone. Absolutely awesome, amazing. I'm so conditioned to think that solar power isn't enough. I'm over here plugging the damn thing in. And of course, Inari, my damn compass of life is just like, didn't you buy it because it's solar powered? Why are you plugging it in? Put it in the window and let it suck up some of the sun. I've been so conditioned, like, no. It'll probably get more power if I plug it into the wall. And it'll be, we are so conditioned to think that renewable energy, solar power, water, hydro, wind, we're so conditioned that these things are not the best. Did you forget about the plane that flew around the world on strictly solar power? You have to have a lot of faith in the fact that solar energy is going to keep you in the air, because you're going to end up in the water somewhere. We have to do better. The last story of the rising: a mother is set to sue a local school over a rope burn on her daughter's neck. Sandy Rugley's lawsuit against Live Oak Classical School will allege that the girl was the victim of a racially motivated bullying by her 6th grade classmates that had gone on for months. The suit that will allege, of course, that the white students placed a rope around the girl's neck as the youngsters played during the April 28th campout at a ranch in Blanco County. This took place in Waco, Texas. Okay. If you see the picture of this girl's neck, her mother described it as it looked like they ripped off her neck and then sewed it back on, sort of like a Frankenstein type thing. In a statement to the newspaper, school trustee Jeremy Counselor said the girl was injured in an accident by a rope swing. Listen, I was that little Tom girl who was on every rope swing. It could have been a water rope swing. It could have been just a tree rope swing. When you're on a rope swing, it's not wrapped around your neck. You hold on to it, you run, you jump, you hold on with your thighs. My baby has a rope burn, and there's no, like, the size of this rope is not big enough to have been a rope swing. So I, like the mother, I'm not going for that. You're not gonna tell me that the baby hurt herself on a rope swing. What is the baby saying right now? She doesn't want to say anything. She does not want to say anything. We will resolve all claims against the school, students, teachers, parents, and the ranch owners and all of their employees and all of their employees' agents and representatives. And 2,700,000 is what they're asking for. You're absolutely crazy. And I go back to the woman who had naked pictures of her in the window, hundreds of thousands. The woman who had her coffee was too cold. Somebody put ice in her, and $2 million. You can't. Not Trayvon Martin. Tamir Rice mama, $6 million. $3 million this year, $3 million next year. But you get naked pictures put on the internet because your idiot self had the windows wide open. 100 and something million. Not I said the fly. Not I said the fly. So there's a lot going on. I will post all these stories and so much more on the Wake Up with Tayla Andre page. And I will make a connection so you can see the Wake Up with Tayla Andre page on Tayla Andre's page. Again, I want to give a huge shout out to ZC Boston, located at 801 Mass Ave. Free parking, wonderful food, amazing drinks. Tell them Tayla sent you. Do not forget that today is the premiere of Out of Darkness. It starts at 6 p.m. sharp. They said it's no color people time. No color people time. 6 p.m. sharp. They will start. You can get tickets online for $11, or you can walk in and get tickets for $15. You're going to want a plate of food because I've read it off last week and it sounds absolutely amazing. All types of casseroles, broccoli casserole, vegans. It's going to be amazing. So make sure you go. And it's going to be a very special Q&A with the film speaker, Sabir Bey. So he is a Philadelphia native, a radio show host, an international lecturer, a historian. Sabir Bey takes action within the ongoing mission of bringing unity, historical, cultural awareness, and sciences of civics to communities all over the map. And who do you need to bring? You need to bring your co-workers. You need to bring everybody. The film will analyze the history of modern day racism, the idea of nationhood, and contextualize the impact of hip hop as a social movement, charging that modern commercial hip hop was co-opted and now serves largely as a means to oppress people. So make sure you come out, especially this Saturday. Don't forget this Saturday is movie day, dinner and a movie, or lunch and a movie with Boss Lady News. Wake Up with Tayla Andre at the Strand Theater. This is Saturday. This is an all-day event. You can come for the Mel track with Bring the Children at 12 p.m. Surprise, surprise at 2 p.m. The Hills at 5 p.m. and Hunky Holocaust at 8. We will be there all day long. I have, Wednesday was my birthday. People like, Tayla, you didn't celebrate. You didn't have a party. You didn't do this. I'm doing other things. I'm doing community-based work. I'm doing people work. Because sometimes it's not about going out there and turning it up. Sometimes you need to turn down. Turn down for what? Because there's other things in the world that we need to take care of. Turn down for what? Because the babies need an education. So I am all the way turned down as far as partying for my birthday, but I do want for us to collectively come out and watch Out of Darkness tonight. I would love to watch movies with you on Saturday and just enjoy each other's company. Shout out to... Of course, my love, my baby. She brought me the best birthday gift ever. Thank you. Faith's Natural Beauties. Please make sure you get the pum pum wash. You get the deodorant. You get the rose infused oil. She started putting extra roses in it, so it's extra strong. Everywhere I went in New York, people were like, "Oh, you smell good. What are you wearing? You smell good." So I had to walk around with Faith Natural business cards like it was my own business. You're going to be an entrepreneur soon, boo. I love you. I appreciate you. We're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, Waking Up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7, Big City 101.3 FM. YouTube, I got to turn that down because you won't be able to listen and I won't be able to play it. What you gonna do about this pretty thing?
Afternoon. You reached the voicemail for the Mattakese Tribal Council. Please leave the name, the number, and a detailed message, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.
I wish I would have brought that Coles back stuff, because I don't think he's going to make it. What you gonna do not to put this pretty thing on you? Really don't know this better to for you. Oh, very nice.
Afternoon. You reached the voicemail for the Mattakese Tribal Council. Please leave the name, the number, and a detailed message, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.
Oh, and even my friends. You gotta stick by me. Soon as you get to that to reply me, I don't. That's why I need a one dance. I need a one dance. We just gonna have to switch up Motivational Monday. Buck up, buck up. Hey. Big City 101.3 FM, waking up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Guess what? There's a thing called technical difficulties, and que sera, sera. What will be will always be, and there's certain things that you cannot change, will not change, so you just have to accept them. And I accept the fact that we had technical difficulties, and there's nothing that I can do at all about it. So, Freaky Friday. I wish it was Freaky Friday. Motivational Monday is going to be switched out. We're supposed to have a conversation as far as the indigenous peoples are concerned. And the United Nations just had a conference about indigenous people. We're definitely going to have to reschedule. My apologies to everyone. But today, what I would like to do as far as Motivational Monday is concerned, one of the biggest things that I took away from New York was in light of indigenous people was Sankofa curriculum. So there is a school in New York that teaches on a Sankofa curriculum. What is Sankofa? I'm not gonna butcher it. Sankofa is the word of the Twi language of Ghana that translates as "go back and get it," "san" to return, "ko" to go, "fa" to fetch, or to seek and take. And also refers to the Asante Adiraka symbol, represented either by a bird with its head turned backwards, taking an egg off its back, or as a stylish heart shape. Sankofa curriculum, what that means is, in the city of New York, this school that teaches Sankofa curriculum, it's called The Bridge, but in Spanish, El Ponte, The Bridge. And it starts off, in ninth grade, you come in and you say, I am Tayla Andre. My father is African-American from the South. My mother is Cape Verdean from Fogo. And they say, okay, great. Let's take that. That's your foundation, right? That's your heritage. That's your DNA. So let's go back. Where exactly in Alabama or from the South is your family? Well, Birmingham, Alabama is where we're from. Choctaw County is where they originated from. That's where we know Bama Parker to have raised his children. That's the furthest we can go, about 5 generations from my grandmother. And as far as my mother is concerned, we know we are from Fogo. We were the Peñas. We became the Peña Bulus. So they take that and they go back in history, all like as far back in history as you can possibly go. And they say, these are your people on your mother, on your father's side. Let's build from there. You learn history through the lens of your people. You learn mathematics through the lens of your people. And everything that you learn is based on who you are, who you've always been, and who you will become as far as your education is concerned. They meet the core curriculum. Common Core, is it Common Core? They meet the Common Core curriculum. They teach everything they're supposed to teach, but it's from a Sankofa curriculum, from a Sankofa standpoint, meaning we're going to look all the way back to where you came from before you can even start to look forward. And I think this is where a lot of us get lost. And I think this is why a lot of us, as far as educators and administrators, and that social emotional part of learning, this component of teaching that everybody is trying to figure out, that component right there that's missing is the fact that our children do not know who they are, where they come from. So how can you sit here and want to know or to know your future if you don't know your past? So today, for Motivational Monday, I would like to discuss knowing thyself, and it's probably one of my favorite topics. Know thyself, and it was greater than that. It's greater than just knowing yourself. It's knowing where you come from, knowing where your people come from, being aware of your strengths, being aware of your weaknesses, your likes, your dislikes, observing and being aware of your moods and your reactions and your responses to what happens around you. What are your triggers? What are those things that tick you all the way off? What are those things that you cannot stand and I can't stand no more? Becoming aware of these moods and emotions affect your state of mind. So if you know for a fact that this coworker gets on your last nerves, you can't stand this coworker, and all of a sudden they come up and they start talking, and you already know this is a walk away type of situation. You can then control the fact that I might not like this person, but I have the ability to get up and walk away. You have to understand, and we have to start teaching our children the same. Having that ability of knowing when it's time to stop and take a cool down. And that was one of the major components when it came to discipline at the school, El Puente, the bridge, when it came to discipline, because they talked for an hour and a half about everything that they do. And I was like, hold on, question. But what about, and they talked about working with children that didn't have mothers or fathers, working with children that were homeless, working with children with bad attitudes, working with children that, you know, every other school has put them out, working with children that they can't phase out. Whatever children come into their school, they have to deal with that child. They don't get to push them out. Question, hold up now. You guys didn't talk about any type of discipline. Well, when it comes to discipline, what we do is we allow the child to know their points, their what ticks them off, what irks them. We teach them about them and the things that work and don't work for them. So when it's time to cool off and they get up and walk out the classroom, guess what? We're not chasing them down the hallway. We're not sending them to the principal. There's a teacher in the school, a professional in the school that we already know that they're going to go to. So we're just going to let them go into whatever classroom, whatever mentor. She said that they have 250 students. It's a small school, 250 students. They have 3 guidance counselors. 250. Do you guys not remember a few weeks back when I read the statistics of for every 3 school police, there's 1 guidance counselor for every 3 school police? This one school has 3 guidance counselors. She said, we don't have a discipline problem. The babies know exactly what their tickers are. They know exactly what's going to set them off. And we teach them that self-control. We teach them what's going to work best for them in any situation. We go through different scenarios. What would you do with this? What would you do with that? And we offer solutions to that problem. What? There's solutions out here. While we have schools out here suspending babies, you know the #1 suspension rate is for kindergartners. Kindergartners are the ones that are getting suspended the most. I bet you didn't know that. It's not the big kids, it's the little ones that they're kicking out of school. And if I'm putting you out in kindergarten, what do you think that's saying to you psychologically? What do you think that's doing to your parents financially? We got a call on the line, 617-282-0062. This rising, we are talking about knowing thyself, Sankofa curriculum, understanding that in order to move forward, we have to first look back. And that's for everybody. I met a parent who was Asian American. She said that she is having the most difficult time. She said that as an educator, she attended as a parent. Even though she's an educator, she attended as a parent because she says she has a black or brown child. She has a child of color. Her husband's black. She's Asian. And she doesn't know what to do because this child doesn't know who to identify with, how to identify. She said, I have no clue what to do. I'm not African American. And his dad is trying, but I'm trying to look for ways to help my child. She's taking him to the Asian motherland. He hasn't been to Africa yet. And she said that she wanted to take him back so he could know his roots. Come on, you got to think about that. 617-282-0062, go rise and call you live.
Hey, what's up, Tayla? Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things in life is like actually really knowing yourself. Because I think education, what they want to do is put us in this cookie cutter formula and use the same formula for all of us, but it doesn't work. I'm like, we're all different. They They say that all day, but then they don't really work at that. They don't really try to make it that you're your own individual. You're different than me. Even if you look the same, we're different. We have different backgrounds. And I think that the whole thing about education, like, they want to kind of conform you to their ways so you can keep the society going the way that they want it to continue going. Because it's actually showing you where you're coming from and who your family is and what your family tree is and where you really come from in the world and your ancestors and all this. You kind of start to look at things a little bit different. You kind of have a bigger picture, like, okay, so my ancestors is this, that, and the other, so I'm capable of that. Because I have that DNA in me. I have that smart in me. I have that talent in me. But if you don't know it, how do you ever, you know what I'm saying, try to build on it? You know what I'm saying? All these other, say, calculations or whatever, they can put their family tree down and like, okay, they go back to their family tree and my great-grandfather did
Great.
I'm going to follow in his footsteps. But if we don't know what's done before us, whose footsteps are we following it? You know, you try to be better than the previous one. But like, if you don't know what the previous one is, how can you strive to be better than that? Because you don't know. You're doing the best you can. You don't know there's any better. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, the love goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you didn't know, they're like, oh, wow, my grandfather did this. So I'm capable of that.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing of the society has to keep continuing going the way the ones in power wanted to go. So that's the reason why this is not because they can't change it. It's very simple to change. Like you said, they have the formula. They just don't want to implement it because it doesn't suit their benefit. You know what I'm saying? They're not worried about what suits us, what's best for us. That's what's best for the few that's in power. Whatever race they are, whatever color they are. The few in power stay in power because they control you. How they control you? With your mind, the way you think. That's the way you control them. You break them down and then you make them think the way you want them to think. And if you really look at school, that's what school does. From the very beginning, they're still teaching this same nonsense in school that we learned today as adults that's not to be true. So if you know that's not true, why are you still teaching it? I don't understand it. How does that make sense? If you know something is a lie, why you continue to teach it? Well, because you want to perpetuate that lie. You want the society to continue to go in the same direction that it's been currently going in. That's what. I mean, we got to do it ourselves, but we can't expect anybody to do it for us. That's what people need to understand. If you don't like what the kids is being taught at school, what your children is at school, you got to teach them at home. You know what I'm saying? Those the right thing for the schools to do it, because the schools not going to do it for you.
So, you know, you're absolutely right. As far as the Sankofa school, El Puente, and the bridge in New York, they said that they are now a public school, but they started off as a community school. It started off as a community school. This started out of founders. 23 years ago, founders founded this school and said, listen, we are going to try something different. And now they are a public school that takes their neighborhood school. So all the children that are in that neighborhood attend that school. The thing that sucks about it is they are only from the 9th grade to the 12th grade. And I wish they were able to start younger. I wish they were able to start in kindergarten. They said that one of the things that they understand is that to remain authentic and to remain their truest selves, they have to remain small. You can't cookie cut this information. And each community has to say, listen, I want to model this. They said they have no problem teaching, each one teach one, and having others model this this plan, but they can't go out and cookie cut everything. It's not going to work. It's going to be diluted at the end of the day. But you're absolutely right in the sense of that we have to do it ourselves. We have to get to know ourselves. And if that means swabbing in your mouth and going ahead and getting a DNA test and figuring out where it is that you hail from, where it is that you come from. Good rising. Yes, I'm back. We have to know ourselves. How do you get to know yourself? There's foolproof way to get to know yourself. First, get to know your personality. Understand your own personality is key. You have the collective opinion of others, which is your one aspect. You have to go ahead and ask yourself some real serious questions. You probably never asked yourself these questions before. You never asked what activity in your life lights you up with joy. What is something you've always loved doing, even when you're tired or when you're rushed or when you're stressed out or when you don't want to wake up, when you don't want to get up? What's that one thing that makes you roll out of bed? What's that one thing that keeps you up? That's your passion. That's the thing you were put on earth to do. You going to work every day, going to get a good job, get benefits. It's not for everybody. If a relationship or a job makes you unhappy, why do we choose to stay? These are questions you have to ask yourself. To thy own self be true. Are you happy? No. Why are you there? Why are you staying? If you're not happy at work, why are you still there? Oh, because I need to make money. You need to love yourself more than you need that money, baby. You need to figure out what makes you tick, what lights you up with joy, what you love doing, so that way you can love your job while making that money to pay your bills. Yes, it is possible. You have to first believe it's possible. That's believing in yourself, believing you have purpose, believing that there's something more here for you. What have you done in your life that you are the most proud of? What is the one thing that you are secondly most proud of? To be yourself, you must know yourself. Shout out to Nikki Curry. I love my publicist. She is not cheap, but she is good. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever written your eulogy? Have you ever said, when I die, this is what people are going to say about me? If you haven't taken that time to figure out what you want people to say about you when you're gone, you don't know yourself well at all. What is your purpose in life, baby? Because it's more than waking up and being completely dissatisfied. That's where ailments come from. You so mad, you so angry, you hate this and you hate that, and you don't think all those negative words, all that negativity. I go back to the story I read about how speaking to your body can heal of ailments. That's not just speaking to your body, that's speaking life into your world. The things you allow to come out of your mouth, the things you allow for you to think. You have to go back. What did your ancestors say about you? What does your DNA say about you? Well, Tayla, I don't know where I come from. Well, guess what? For $99 on Groupon, you can go ahead and swab your mouth and find out where you came from. Once upon a time, I won't go that route because that'll take us all the way to the left. But what I was going to say is once upon a time, last names were those of your father. You know, my name is Tayla Eric. Eric is my father. I hail from, you know, we used to have that connection. And that, in a sense, determined who you were. Do you understand what I mean? Ask yourself, how does your being here in the universe change humanity for the better? What are you doing to help humanity? What are you doing to help the people? I want to give a huge shout out. When me and the children were walking down the street yesterday, something fell out of my bag and it fell on the ground and a man picked it up and put it in his pocket. When I tell you, a woman stopped her car, waved her finger in his face. He was like, oh, my bad. You saw that? Gave it to her. She found the children and I and was like, somebody picked this up. I thought it was your phone and I thought he was going to steal it. I just wanted to make sure you had it back because people need their stuff. Shout out to you, baby. She probably doesn't even know me, probably isn't even listening, but a special prayer goes out to her because that small act of kindness, that it does, you don't have to go out here and feed 50 million homeless people. You don't have to go out here and save the slaves. You don't have to go out here and change mentalities. You don't have to go out here and change policy. Something simple as seeing someone doing wrong and making it right that's a purpose. That's purpose. That's integrity. That's building character. And when you do something like this, and I believe there were some babies in the car, when you do something like that, you have a child that's in the back seat remembering you went out of your way. When we were on the way to XYZ restaurant, to XYZ candy store, my mama stopped and picked up something that didn't belong to a crackhead and gave it to the person it belonged to. You remember that. You remember your mother going out of her way. You remember those little things. Kids do not remember All of the million things you did, the thousands of dollars you spent on kids' birthday parties, y'all ridiculous. Y'all over here with Section 8 houses, doing all types of ridiculous things, but spend $600, $700 on a damn birthday cake. We need to get it together. That could have been some stock. That could have been a CD. You could have invested it in gold. You could have invested it in silver. You could have been out here making money for your future generations, but you over here splurging on a 2-year-old's birthday party. What have you done in your life that you are most proud of? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? If you could have one single wish granted, what would it be? And is it selfish for you, or is it benefiting your community? This tells you a lot about who you are. These questions that you ask yourself can help you dictate who is the person that I am. Oh, and you'll get a rude awakening, baby. Don't think for 5 seconds that I'm on the microphone and I'm trying to preach or tell you how to live your life and I haven't looked in the mirror myself. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. It hurts. It is painful. But I promise you, once you actually take a look in the mirror and realize your wrongs and realize your rights and realize your strengths and realize your weaknesses, you can then walk into the world with your head held high, your chest poked out, and have a sense of self that nobody can take away from you. That can't be taught in a school unless it's the Sankofa curriculum. That can't be taught anywhere else but in your house. And if you want to have children that are socially, emotional, fully well-rounded creatures, you have to first be the change you wish to see in the world. Do as I say, not as I do. Nah, boo. I'm gonna need for you to do right and teach me how to do right. One of the most difficult things that I had to face this past weekend was my morality, my integrity. I had to face my integrity and realize my moral compass. I had to look back at my past and the things that I've done and some of the things that I've said and how they didn't align with who I thought I was. You got to ask yourself the really tough questions like, what does this mean? This action that took place, what does that mean? Who does that make me? When your words and your actions are not aligned, it makes you a hypocrite first and foremost. But aside from that, what does that say about your morals? What does that say about your core values? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you want? You can't for 5 seconds know what you want in life if you don't know who you are. And that's why you're probably in a relationship that don't work. That's why you're probably at a job that you don't like. That's probably why you treat your children disrespectfully. Because you're seeing so much of the things you don't like about yourself and your children. You talking to them all types of crazy when you need to be talking to yourself. Your siblings, your parents, your friends, all the people around you. You're so mad at this person. You're so mad at that person. But who you're really mad at is the reflection of yourself in the people that you're mad at. Oh, when I tell you, it's real. That realization of self is real. You got to go back before you can start looking forward. You got to look back at your past, and not just the past of your ancestors, but the past of, I go back to the little girl, the 15-year-old that had sex with 25 boys in rotation at school. I go back to the parents. This is on the Wake Up with Tayla Andre page. It's absolutely hilarious the way that those adults categorized and spoke about that child and talked about her grandmother, her mama, her great-great-grandmama. All 3 interviews, something, this child. Oh, we know about that family. The mama was like that. The grandmama was like that. You have to understand your past to understand why you are where you are right now. Understand the things that you were taught, the things that you learned, and maybe some of the things that you didn't think that you learned, some of the things that you didn't think that was taught to you, but you witnessed them and you watched them and you saw your parents do it and you saw your mother do it and you saw your grandmother do it. So it's instilled in you and programmed in you for this to be acceptable behavior. But at the end of the day, that's really not who you want to be. And if that's conflicting for you, again, you have to go back to your past to understand your future. Sankofa is what that is. Looking back to the past in order to grab a hold of today and move forward. What are your core values? Are you comfortable with your morality? Are you comfortable with your decisions? How many of us can look back at a situation and say, oh, like it's real cringeworthy. Like, if I could go back to that one moment in time, yeah, I definitely would change. I can't believe I did. Oh, damn, I did that. Are you comfortable with your own morality? Are there times more often than not where you wish you would have made a better decision? That's something you can't, these aren't hypothetical questions. These are questions that you have to answer to yourself by yourself. These questions are the questions that even standing in the mirror, you still embarrassed because you feel like somebody might be watching you. It's those moments that it's going to be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable. You can't grow unless you're uncomfortable. Those embarrassing moments that you don't want to admit to yourself. How many of us have done something that we didn't even want to admit to ourselves, let alone admit in public? Sometimes when you come face on, what is it? The things that you resist will persist. The thing, you want to know what? He going to tap you on the shoulder. We got this problem. We don't like this. Tap you on the shoulder. There's going to be a push. We don't like this. Then he's going to sit here and trip you. We don't like this. And then you're going to find yourself flat on the ground, face full of mud. And that's when you're actually going to look in the mirror. And maybe you'll just wipe it off. Maybe you won't even deal with it. There's going to be a point in time where you're going to have to deal with it. This is why people go through midlife crisis. This is why people have so many issues and they want to get a divorce in the middle of 60 years old, 55 years old. It's because they didn't know who they were in the beginning. And all of a sudden, oh, we don't match anymore. It's not that we don't match anymore. We didn't match in the first place. We weren't right for each other in the first place. We weren't supposed to be together in the first place. But you didn't know you. They didn't know them, and y'all in a union thinking you're gonna find yourselves in a relationship, in a partnership, in a business. You thought you were gonna find that peace, find that happiness. I want to give a huge shout out to J. Cole. J. Cole said, I thought that once I gave my mama her house, once I helped all the people around me, that's when that happiness was going to come. But it wasn't until after my mama had her house, I had all this money, I had all these cars, the people around me were good, that I realized that, hey, I'm still not happy. J. Cole said that we have to realize that happiness is internal and nobody else is going to give it to us. You can't think for 5 seconds that anybody else is going to give you your happiness. When your heart is aching, when your heart is burning, when you want nothing but to be consoled, nobody can console you. You can have all the love in the world, all the hugs in the world, all the alcohol in the world, all the sex in the world, but that is still a missing part of you. People say, oh, you got to feel that with God. Tayla, you just talking about they need to just go to church. No, what they need to do is they need to look back at that past, look back at their ancestors, look back at where they came from and understand every step of the way. In the school of Sankofa and El Puente, the bridge in New York City, one of the things that they do, the first thing that they do is they do a family tree. Who is my mother? Who is my father? Who are the people in my life? Where do they hail from? And you want to know one of the things that because they brought students, and some of the students said, I didn't understand my parents and where my parents came from until I had to do the family tree. Me and my mother didn't have a relationship. Me and my father didn't have a relationship. I had a grandmother that was 89 years old. I never really spoke to her, but it wasn't until my parents didn't know about my history that I had to go and seek out the elder. And I found out that my grandfather is just like me. My grandmother told me, and this is what one of the babies was saying, the Sankofa school, he's a student, and he was talking about doing his family tree, and he couldn't figure out what that family tree looked like. So neither one of his mother didn't know, his father didn't know. So he had to go ahead and call Puerto Rico and figure it out from his grandmother. He said that his grandmother told him, your granddaddy was just like you. Your granddaddy liked this and your granddaddy liked that. And so now all of a sudden you have this pride of self because who I am, there was another before me. The grandmother either said to him, when your grandfather died, your mother became pregnant and we believed it was your grandfather reincarnated into you. And believe it or not, we believe it now more than you're a growing adult, a young adult, than we ever believed it before, because you're just like your grandfather. When you have that sense of pride, even if you never met that person, I can't tell you when people tell me, Tayla, you look just like Cece. Oh, you look just like CB, Tayla. You just like your grandmother. I was 2.5 when she died. No, I was about to turn 2 because she died in March. I was born in May. I was about to turn 2 years old when my grandmother died on my mother's side, my maternal grandmother. But apparently I look just like her. Apparently I have feet just like her. Apparently my booty and my hips are just like her. And it gave me a sense of pride when people started telling me more about her and who she was and her demeanor and the way she spoke to people and the way she interacted with people. And it made me have not just a self of pride, but a self-understanding that the way that I am is not just the way that I am because whatever, because of what I ate or what I watched on TV. She wasn't in my life to sit here and guide me and direct me. But today at 33 years old, I'm just like my grandmother. Going back and understanding who she was helps me understand who I am. You have to go back in order for you to move forward. And so many of us have no knowledge of self. So many of us have no knowledge of the past. So many of us want to erase the past. We hate the things that we've done in the past. You have to come face on with these challenges, with these issues in order for us to move forward. What is your biggest self-limiting belief? What is that one thing that is holding you back from doing anything and everything that you want to do? What is your highest core value? To your best knowledge, how do you perceive other people? That goes back to the fact that you don't like X, Y, and Z. I don't like it when you're late. You make me wait all the damn time. I'm over here waiting on you. Well, guess what? You make people wait on you all the time. That's why you hate it so much. You don't like having things done to you like you do to people. Oh, I don't like it when you talk back. You got a smart mouth. Well, guess what? Well, apparently you don't like yourself because you got a smart mouth too. You think you know it all. Everything you want to come out your mouth, think you know it all. Well, apparently you must think, I know you are, but what am I? I go back to that. I say it all the time because it's a childhood thing where kids say, I know you are, but what am I? But at the end of the day, what you're really seeing is that seeing yourself in that other person. I know you are. I know. Projection is perception, or perception is projection. What you perceive in somebody else is what you're truly projecting about yourself. How would you like others to perceive you? How do you perceive other people, and how do you want other people to perceive you? What are you doing to meet those expectations that you have for self? Are you meeting those expectations? Who is your greatest role model? Who is the most important person in your life? Who is the most important person that's not in your life? Who's the person you wish that was in your life that is no longer here? These are the things, these are just simple questions, but they're really not that simple, because once you dig a little deeper into self, you'll realize who you truly are, and you will start walking in purpose and walking accordingly to your soul's morality, that moral compass of self. And I go back to those cringe-worthy moments when you're like, damn, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I treated this person like that. Like, what was I thinking? What was I doing? Those cringe. I know I'm not the only one that has those cringe, like ugly face, like, oh. You don't want to admit it to yourself. So how can you dare admit it to anybody else? And if you're not willing to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I did it, I'm not proud of what I did, but yeah, I did it. Guess what? You can't move forward. You have blocked your blessings in every sense of the word because you refuse to move forward. What you resist will persist. If you keep ignoring something, it's going to continue until you face it head on. Why my child so bad? Why my child do this? Why my parents do? You have to face it head on. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I have these conversations with self before I can even come here and have these conversations with you. It's not easy. It's difficult. It hurts. It is hurtful. It is painful. It is the most pain that anybody will ever cause you, and it's you doing it to yourself. Well, why would I want to inflict that pain on myself? Because guess what? Joy cometh in the morning. Joy cometh in the rising. Because when you're able, I want to go back to Eminem, and I think it's been 15 years since he dropped his Marshall Mathers. Shout out to him as far as like milestones are concerned. But I want to go back to 8 Mile, and I want to go back to when he rapped that last battle, and he like, I'm going to sit here and tell you everything bad about me. Yeah, I'm from a trailer park. Yeah, my mother's on drugs. Yeah, I'm on Section 8. Yeah, we got food stamps. Yeah, I ain't got no vehicle. Like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? Once you identify who you are, no one can sit here and put you in your place. Nobody can sit here and down you or make you feel bad about who you are or what you do when you own everything you are, everything you represent. No one can own you unless you own yourself. I said that wrong. Nobody can own you unless you don't own yourself. When you own yourself, when you know your rights, when you know your wrongs, when you know your faults, and I sit here and I know these things, but okay, and thanks for mentioning what I already know, and they don't faze you. What is something that is true for you no matter what? No matter if it's night, no matter if it's day, no matter if your biggest crushes are over there, no matter if your best friends over there, no matter if your enemies are over here, what is the one thing that is you no matter what? What role does gratitude play in your life? How is your relationship with money? How do you feel? Let's go back. What is your relationship with money? We have these sayings in our head that limit our belief. Rich people are greedy. Money doesn't grow on trees. I'm not made out of a bank. You want to know what? These are limiting mindsets. I said the other day, actually it was yesterday, I made mention to the fact that I needed money for something. And Anari said, why are you limiting yourself? Don't you know that there's an abundance of wealth out here? Sometimes out of the mouths of babes, we have to remember, and I'm glad because apparently I instilled something in him that he can go ahead and regurgitate back to me and make me remember some of the things that I forgot. Don't you know there's an abundance of wealth out here? Are you claiming to be broke? Because if you're claiming to be broke, you claiming brokenness in my life, and I'm not broke. So I'm going to need for you to change your language. Again, this is a 12-year-old speaking to an adult. What is that Bible verse? Teach the children in the way they should go, so when they grow old, they won't depart from it. He's over here reminding me of things that I taught him. How do you feel about your parents? What do you think about your parents? How do you feel about growing old one day? How do you treat your elders? Because you know karma is a real itch. That itch in the middle of your back that you can't reach unless you rub up against the wall. Yeah, karma's that. How do you treat your elders? How do you expect to be treated when you are the elder? How do you allow your children to treat elders? Oh, that was an important one for me, especially when I was 23, 24 years old. When I had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I was that parent that can't nobody say nothing to my kids, and elders over there trying to correct my children. I'm like, forget them. They're not your mother. What was I teaching my children about their elders? Trust and believe, baby. I've come a long way. I've been uncomfortable most of my life. And I will remain uncomfortable, because when you're uncomfortable, that's where there's room for you to grow. When you're comfortable, you're stagnant. If you're not growing, you're dying. True or false? How do you feel about growing old one day? How do you treat your elders? And how do you want to be treated one day when you're old? And old is all relative. You could be 36 years old and still be old. You could be 102 years old and still be young. What role has formal education played in your life, and how do you feel about it now? And what of those beliefs have you passed down to your children? What do you believe your destiny is, and what do you think your predetermined destiny would be if you don't grab a hold of your past now in order to move in the future? Good rising, Latoya. I had a blast with you in New York. What do you believe is the meaning of life? And how are you shaping your child's belief of life through not your words, baby, but your actions? I want to go back to the Sankofa curriculum, looking back in order to move forward. I don't want to butcher it for you, so let me go ahead and read exactly what Sankofa means. And I think I lost it. I hope not, did I? No, I didn't. Sankofa, 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 is a word in the Twi, Twi language of Ghana that translates as go back and get it. San, to return. Ko, to get. Fa, to fetch or to seek and take. Also refers to the Asante Adinkra symbol, represented either by a bird with its head turned backwards, taking an egg off its back, or as a stylized shaped heart. We have to know our story. What did Latoya say? As we know about story, we know about our power. As we learn our story, we learn our power. As we understand our story, we understand our power. As we understand our past, we can then move forward with a bigger and brighter future. We're coming to the top of the hour. The conversation does not stop at 7 a.m. If you missed any of today's show, you can head over to mixcloud.com, TaylaAndre. You can head over to YouTube. It's also on Facebook. I want to give a huge shout out to ZC Boston, 801 Mass Ave, free parking, amazing food, wonderful sushi, probably the best sushi you will have in the city. Get you a lychee martini. That is my favorite drink. I want to give a huge shout out to Faith's Natural Beauty. Get you the Pum Pum Wash, the deodorant, as well as the rose infused oil. They also have the she also has mango. She has rain. She has men's colors. She has female colors. She has men's scent. She has female scents. So it's just not for women. Men, you can get something too. And just because it's no longer Mother's Day doesn't mean that you can't still get her a basket full of products. Shout out to David Banner. David Banner will be in Boston July 23rd. We are still rolling out some of the details. We're still making sure that this is going to be the best event for the community. So as soon as tickets are available, I will let you know, and you guys will be free to purchase them, or we're trying to make it so it's a free event. All right. When two or more pray and agree, touch and agree. Can we agree? Trying to make this a free event. I'm praying for it. And shout out to Nikki Curry, our publicist. I say our publicist because she works for us. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. She's good at what she does, but she is not cheap, baby. Make sure you come out. I know my birthday was on Wednesday. Tayla, you didn't do a party, but we are partying as far as education is concerned. We will be at Roxbury Crossing today. And when I say we, I mean the children and I will be at RCC tonight. The show starts at 6 p.m. flat, like exactly at 6 p.m. So please come out. Out of Darkness is an educational revolution. The film is one to be seen by every person in America. The film will examine the untold history of African people and the African cultural contribution to the nation of the world. Listen, they're finding pyramids. They're finding statues. They're finding everything that resembles Africa and Asia and Russia and Australia. They're finding black people all over this world. They still have their natural locks in their hair. And guess what? This is not a movement. This is not a movement. This is a lifestyle. This is an absolute lifestyle. And they will have the film speaker, Cyber Bay, will be in the building as well. And as far as the children are concerned, make sure you come out and party with us next Saturday, or this coming Saturday, I apologize, this Saturday at the Strand Theater. Shout out to Boss Lady News and Wake Up with Taylor Andre. We will have a dinner and a movie. So please come out for the dinner. Please come out for the movie. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We have Honky Holocaust. You guys remember that film that the children and I are in, as well as Alex E. Edwards and Val Beats. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. It will not be the last, but it definitely will be the first. And that is this Saturday at the Strand Theater. The food is going to be presented by Zaz out of Hyde Park. And then you are going to have Meltrek that is going to be there. It's just going to be an awesome event, and I hope you come out. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for everybody who called, who texted, who Facebook, who Instagram. Thank you for everybody who showed love for my birthday. I'm 33 years old, and I don't want to turn up anymore. I want to turn out. I want all of us to turn out. I want us to educate one another. I want us to uplift each other. I want us to love each other. I want some sort of unity out here. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're brown. I don't care if you're gray. I don't care if you're purple. I don't care if you're clear. I just need us to have some sort of unity so that my grandbabies can live on earth without a problem, without a care, and fix humanity as a whole. I want my babies out here to be able to live life and not wonder whether or not they're going to be gunned down, shot down, or misrepresented because of simple clothing. Reality is setting in for me. I'm 33. My son is 13. At any point in time, I could be a grandmother out here. I wish over the weekend I seen family. We got 4 or 5 generations in my family. I want to see that, and we can't see that if we as a whole are not making sure our children have a future. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Big City 101.3 FM, Waking Up with Taylor Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Mwah. Facebook, YouTube, I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. You guys feel free to hit me up. If there's anything that you're missing, if there's anything that you need, let me know and I'll send it over to you. I apologize. I'm looking low. You know what I'm saying? But I've been on vacation. Not really, but I have not been waking up at 4 o'clock, and I woke up late today. I did. Woke up at 4:30. I was so exhausted. I'm still exhausted, but we're going to do what we have to do and make everything work out for us. So I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I hope you guys have an amazing day.
Honey, can you help me out just until next week, until I get paid?
Did you call the kid's father?
Girl, you know I called everybody on my phone list before I called you.
You know I would help you if I had it, but I just paid my